Hey guys, howdy do. So, people have been wondering. In fact, I think someone asked this question, was it today, about how much it cost. Um, the Concord. People were wondering. Okay, it was in development for 8 years, and people have been wondering how much did it make? How much did it cost to make? Apparently, 400 million, and it was meant to be PlayStation's Star Wars. So its own little universe and a story, and boy, they messed that up, didn't they? Well, to be fair, Star Wars is being messed up, so I don't think you really want to be compared to Star Wars nowadays. Star Star Wars again. If people are going back to like the second trilogy, the same trilogy with Jar Jar Binks, and I hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere. If people are going back and looking at that fondly, you know you're screwing up Star Wars. Like no one should look at that fondly. But Star Wars is just one crap pile after another. But Concord allegedly cost Sony 400 million and was meant to be PlayStation Star Wars. Um, Concord was taken offline after 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, and has gone down as one of the biggest flops in gaming history, right up there with ET. Except while ET was able to be taken and thrown into a landfill, you can't really do that with this since a lot of the copies were digital copies. So unless you want to take your computer, your PS5 or whatever you had it installed on, and throw that away. Like, sorry, PS5, you served me well, and I can't wait to play some of the. I wanted to play some of the new games, but this game is just too terrible, and I don't want to be reminded of it. Bye now. Um, but if you can get up there with ET, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I mean, ET caused like the video game crash. So the fact that this has gotten up to it didn't cause a crash, but it was so bad that it had to be pulled, and everyone who bought it got refunds. That's bad. That's bad. Obviously, we're in a different age. It's no longer the heyday of video games, and the market is a lot more flexible. So you don't have to worry about one game bringing down the entire gaming market. But the fact that after 2 weeks, it was not only taken off, but everyone who bought it got a refund because it was that bad. Not only was it filled with just hideous freaking characters and forced DEI, the game was $30. It was $30. Why would you make that kind of game cost money? Fortnite, as much as I hate Fortnite, it's free to play, right? But you have your in-game store where you purchase, characters and skins for your weapons and stuff like that. That makes a lot of money. I don't think they understand how much money that would actually make them. It's a huge money maker. Um, over in here, um, where is it? Yeah, Genshin had a production cost of just 100 million, yet it has generated several billion in revenue. Yeah, even though it's a completely different type of game, it still didn't cost a whole lot to, initially, but look where it is. We're 4 years later, we're in our sixth nation, still free to play. It's still running the same kind of, business model. New characters come out, you can pull them with the witches and stuff that you've saved up, or you can buy primo gems to buy them, to pretty much guarantee that you get them. You know, you have your in-game stuff that you can purchase, or you can free to play. The and yet it's a perfectly fine experience. The land itself is rich and just really nice to look at. The characters are amazingly well written. Some of them aren't even human. Like when you see like Klee, she's got her little. Actually, for people who don't know what I'm talking about, This is Dodoko. This isn't actually a playable character. It doesn't move, it doesn't walk, it doesn't talk. This is a little plushy keychain that Klee has on her backpack, and yet people have fallen in love with it. People have fallen in love with this little character. Jumpy Dumpties. Jumpy Dumpties is one of Klee's moves. It's just a big bomb. She just tosses it out, it bounces around and scatters these little ones about, and yet people have fallen in love with it because of how adorable they are. These are not even characters. Um Here's another one, Baron Bunny. Same thing. It's not even a real character. It doesn't talk. This is one of Amber's moves. I mean, it's like her companion type thing, but it doesn't talk. It doesn't really do anything. She throws it out, it dances around for a few seconds, and then explodes. And people have fallen in love with it. Guoba, Chang Sheng, who is Baiju's white snake that he has around his neck. People love those characters, despite the fact that they're not human or really real things. They're just like accessories or dolls. I mean, I think wasn't Baron Bunny was created by, I think, Klee. It was either Klee or Alice. Klee is really good at making explosives. Her mother Alice is like basically a god who can create pretty much anything. But I think it was Klee who made Baron Bunny. Um, but yeah, people love these characters. Um, so you don't have to see yourself or whatever to relate to characters or to like them or whatever. Because like in Genshin, all the characters are nice looking and thin, and like Zhongli. Am I a 6,000-year-old dragon? No, but I relate to the guy. You know how stingy he is with money. It's like, yeah, I relate to that. Or, you know, some of the female characters, like Farina, one of the best written characters, not only in the game, but in any game. People look at her and it's like, she's the most human of any of the characters in game, and she's more human than most humans I know. That's how well written this character is. Do I have two different colored eyes and all that? No, but I can relate to the character, you know? So, and again, making this game not free to play. Like, oh yeah, we're going to charge you $30. So they were probably going to charge you $30 to play it, and then, oh, you want skins and all that? Well, you're going to have to pay for those too. But Cullen claims the game cost $400 million to make, $200 million of that amounting to development costs before PlayStation bought out Fireworks Studios, and another $200 million spent by Sony after. He claimed he had a long conversation with someone who worked on the game and was given a ton of information about its troubled development. Concord cost about $400 million to make. In the first quarter of 2023, Concord entered its alpha state. This was before Sony purchased the team. Even to get it to alpha, $200 million was spent on the game, according to his source. The game was in laughable shape when it was shown. When the alpha was ready to go, he continued, it was in such in horrible shape that Sony felt like they needed to spend that much money again, 200 million plus 200 million, just to get the game to viability. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. A large portion of the game being outsourced to other studios to get it rushed out the door. Uh, Toxic positivity about the project internally suffered from toxic positivity. Interesting. Concord was the future PlayStation. They had such a major ambition for this game that it was referred to as Star Wars-like project for Sony, that it could be repeatedly revisited over and over again. As of now, Concord's future is in limbo. With the game servers taken down and all copies of the game refunded, it is currently impossible to play. Yeah, So 400 million for a game that was removed less than 2 weeks after it launched. And why? Because forced diversity with just hideous characters. They made the game $30 when you have Fortnite, Overwatch, and games like that that are free to play. Again, these people seriously just seem to have no uh, confidence in the in-game, purchases or anything. People go crazy with in-game purchases. It is insane. It's insane. Like with Genshin. Like with Genshin. People will spend entire paychecks on that game. It's insane. Now, if you're gonna like, for me, if I have the money, I like to support the game. It's one of my favorite games, and I do genuinely really like the game. So if I have the ability to support it once in a while, I have no problem doing that. But these people, it's like every other day they are spending money on it. You look at Fortnite or whatever else, and people are spending loads of money just, or Call of Duty on skins and guns and characters and this and that. So clearly, Firewalk Studios truly underestimated the power of the in game store. So instead, they made this game. I guess they felt like, oh, well, we kind of have to charge for this game because there's no way we're going to make $200 million back. So they truly underestimated the power of the consumer. Because as sad as it is, it's like an addiction that people are not going to stop until they have everything. If it's like a gotcha type thing, like Genshin, where you just keep rolling and hoping that you get it, and it's just crap, 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 and then you finally get that hit. These people are gonna just keep going and going because enough will never be enough. They want everything. They want the best everything. They want the best. Again, like in Genshin, everyone wants the best artifacts and the best characters, and they want to max out their characters, constellations to C6, and they just want the best of the best every single time, and they will spend thousands of dollars in one go just to get one character. It's insane. It's insane. 1 million per a copy of the game sold. Well, they succeeded. It's like the Star Wars sequels. That's what I said. I mean, the state of Star Wars is not exactly where you want it to be, and I don't know why you'd want it to be like Star Wars. Concord's failure shouldn't be pinned on just one person. This was a huge organizational failure. $500 million to develop, and it didn't even break 1,000 players. We've seen colossal failures, but this is the tippity top. Heads need to roll. Some already have. Star Wars like franchise. Did the execs even know what they were making? Has to be a scheme of some sort. Good. They did get their wish by becoming Disney Star Wars. Sony inviting the Concord development team over to a celebratory pizza party. Hey guys, we just want to appreciate all your accomplishments and all the hard work. So we're gonna throw you guys a pizza party at I don't know, 12 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it's super secret, and only the best, just the best are gonna be there. Don't you be late now. Well, that was kind of a long shot. Ha! Very Rise of Skywalker of them. 400 million down the drain. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away. Meanwhile, Zenless Zone Zero had a budget of less than 30 million and made well over 130 million. Yeah, apparently that's a really good game too, and I've been debating whether I should play it or not. I just get tired of downloading things. I just get tired of downloading things, you know? But I've seen the gameplay and it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. Um those idiots thought that Concord was going to sell 10 million copies minimum. There's no way this is even close to true. Sony barely marketed this game prior to launch. Like I found people, they were commenting on my video like no one, it seems like no one knew about this game. You know, it's like I didn't see any kind of advertisements or I said, yeah, the only people you saw, you know, basically advertising it were people like me or other commentators where we were talking about how bad the game looked and how bad the characters looked. That was like the only advertising, you know, because Sony and they just you didn't see anything about it. People were like, I didn't even know it was out. You know, it's just terrible marketing. That was probably another reason it failed. Terrible marketing. If no one knows about the game, you can't really get people excited about it. Biggest flop of the year. Seems like they succeeded. Everything about Star Wars now sucks, just like Concord. I think Concord would have survived if they did a better job with the marketing. Yeah, I just said that. Character designs weren't so ugly. Uh, Designs weren't so ugly. Characters had unique super ultimate abilities. Map designs made more sense. It wasn't in such a saturated market. It was a recipe for disaster. Yeah, because everyone and their mother is producing like first person shooters these days, and I mean, you really need to stick out. Sony scrapped it so they could fall back on the 30th anniversary PS5 Pro to make that money back tenfold. Yes, they are Star Wars like, all right. Anyone can just make a Star Wars like franchise. Just depends when you feel like doing it. Yeah. 400 million and people still don't GTA is gonna cost 200 billion since it's 10 times bigger. I think we'll all be freaking in nursing homes by the time GTA 6 comes out. There's always something going wrong. Oh, launch needs to be pushed back, or production is slowed, or so we're all gonna be like, I'm gonna be like freaking 70, 80 years old, like, welcome back, everyone. Now I'm gonna start like, howdy do. And then I'm going on to say how GTA 6 finally released the launch trailer. Next time, just focus on making a good game. Delusions of grandeur. Of grandeur. Well, it is like Star Wars. But yeah, 400 million. Even if it's exaggerated, just say 200 million. Do you know what you could do with $200 million? What would you do if you had $200 million? Just think about that, and then you'll see how much money was wasted on this game. If I was in control, I would make a game that was catered to everyone. And I certainly would not say, oh, hey, let's charge them $30 for the game and then have in game purchases. Now, there are some things that people may not like it, but it's still happening, like World of Warcraft. I mean, you pay for the game, you know, so like the new expansion comes out. That's like the base game or just the base expansion without all the extra stuff added, you know, like the collectors and stuff. 40 bucks, 40, 50 bucks. And then you still have to pay $15 a month. And then there's an in-game store. Um, that's why people really think that, like, especially like with WoW, it should just go, you know, free to play, or, you know, if you're gonna have a something like that, you don't charge $40 to play the game. If you want to have like a collector's edition, you can charge for that. But just to play it, it's just like consider it DLC, free to play DLC, because they know they're going to make it back with in-game purchases and all that. And people were like, you're charging us for the game, you're charging us $15 a month to play the game, and then you still have an in-game store from, stuff like character transfers and name changes to pets and mounts, toys. I mean, $20 for a freaking game token so you can get that token. So you buy the token and then there's a set price. So like right now I think it's like 186,000 gold. So if you have the money and you need in-game gold, $20 for a token, you put it on the auction house. There you go. It's like an instant 186k. So, you know, but yeah, the marketing was terrible. The game characters were just terrible. Uh, $30 for the game and then still having in-game purchases. Terrible idea, especially when there was nothing special about this game when you compare it to, Fortnite or Overwatch 2 or even Overwatch. People were like, Overwatch 2 is fine, but Overwatch, the first one, is still way better. Hell, people I think are still playing Team Fortress 2. So there's a staying power of that game. But multiple reasons why it failed. And going into it thinking like, oh, we're gonna make it like the next Star Wars. No, no. Aim to be something different. Because in a world filled with, this game looks like that and they want to be like this, you need to stand out. You need to stand out. It's okay to draw inspiration. Like, how many games come out now that feel like Zelda? Or how many games have you seen that look like Hollow Knight? The same kind of hand-drawn drawn art style, the same kind of move sets, or same kind of basic idea where it's like a big maze and, different areas just for... It's okay to draw inspiration, but don't aim to be it. Just focus on making a good game. If you make it, they will come. And if it's really good, then they'll really come. They'll also purchase your game. So, but yeah, I guess the question of the day really is, what would you do with $200 million? I guess for me, because I mean, obviously, I feel like I should answer my own question. I don't know. I mean, I've always said that if I had $200 million or just that much money, I would still live where I am. I live in an apartment that it was built in like 1916. My room though, people were like, you get those idiots who aren't smart enough to give any criticism, so they gotta, your mom's basement. They say about the paneling how it looks like it's from the 70s because it is from the 70s. My room was built in 19... What she say? I think she said it was... She's like, my father had the room added on in 1974. I think that's what she said. It was in the 70s. I think it was either 1974 or 1976. Either way, my room's been around longer than some of you guys have. So, yeah, that's why But if I had the ability to, if I had that money, I would definitely fix up the walls a bit, get them looking a little nicer. Fix the floors because they're old. They've lost a lot of their shine. And it's a nice looking place. You could tell it was built in 1916, and that's the charm of it. But, some of the floors aren't as strong anymore because they've been through a lot. So I would fix the floors. I would fix the roof. Maybe make the porch bigger. I love sitting outside on the porch, but it's just feels so constricting sometimes. Make it a porch where it's kind of covered, not covered as in a sense of like covered, but outside right now, the porch, it doesn't have anything like If I want to sit out there while it's raining, the wind picks up, guess what? You're getting wet. So having like a screen or something in the openings to kind of, something like that, or have something you can roll down, that would be really cool, I think. Um, Fixing the backyard, getting it look a lot nicer, building a new fence because the fence is pretty much the original. Um, and all that would be a drop in the bucket. I mean, 200 million, getting all that fixed would, even if it's like 100,000 or something, that's still nothing compared to, But I think that's what I would do. I mean, I would upgrade like my, computer and all that. And, the best of the best, the best microphone I can find, or the best camera I can find, the best computer I can find. And even that would be a drop in the bucket. So that's what I would do with 200 million. I would fix the house and just kind of stay living here. Like I said, even though my room was built in 1974, if I had the money, I would just fix it up. So, but yeah, what would you guys do with 200 million? And if I was a game creator, I would make a game cater to everyone. And I certainly also would not charge $30 for the game because I know the power of in-game stores. I've seen the power considering I play Genshin. I know the power of, in-game stores. So, and WoW, same thing. World of Warcraft, new mount comes out, people have got to have it because it's unique looking. And that's the gimmick. Like, we can't have all these unique looking ones in game. Nope, we got to have them in the store. So, but yeah. Yeah, let me know what you would do with $200 million. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.